Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have a really cool topic to talk about, and that is a secret raid that was carried out in Syria by U.S. forces. Specifically, it appears that Delta Force was on the ground leading the way during this raid in Syria that just happened the other day. Details about the raid remain limited at this time, but we're going to get into what we do know, how we know it, all that fun, good stuff. And I think it's just another example that when you end up on Delta Force's list and they come looking for you, it is bound to be a bad time. Almost always certainly going to be a curtain call for whoever they're targeting. That is just a fact of life. Before we get into all of that and much more, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's totally free, costs you guys absolutely nothing, and is a huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below on what you think about the issue, what you think about what's going on in Syria, what you think about Delta Force. I'm trying to respond to as many comments as I can. I know I missed some, but trust me, I'm trying to respond to a bunch. Hit that bell, all notifications on. You won't miss a single video. And then right here on the bottom of the screen, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X D Hookstead. Make sure to follow me at both of those. There's a lot of great information I've been sharing as well. As you can see, I'm also in a long sleeve shirt. That is because it is so chilly now in the Hookstead compound after we fix the AC that I have to bundle up. That's just how cold it is in here. They are still patching up some drywall, doing some other things, but we are rolling now. Let's get into it. As we all know, former president, deposed president, dictator, whatever you want to call him, Bashar al-Assad fled Syria in December, either late December 7th or early December 8th. The timeline's not 100% crystal clear still. Fled the country after HTS, an organization full of people the U.S. was actually fighting at one point, did essentially a sprint to Damascus. The Syrian army had collapsed. They had no support. Their logistics were obliterated. They were broke. And the government pretty much folded. Assad loyalists fled the country. And now Jelani, or whatever name he's going by today, he is running the country as the new leader. He met with Trump briefly. He's met with other people around the region, and he has really cemented himself as the unquestioned leader of Syria. The problem is that most of Syria still remains uncontrolled, different factions. You have ISIS in parts. You have other terror organizations. You have the Turks in parts. You have the Kurds in parts. You have the Alawites out on the coast that are still trying to hold off. You got the Druze. And then you have whatever the government forces, the new government forces, are able to control. Obviously, this creates a situation that is less than tenable. It allows bad organizations to flourish and to do whatever they want. The United States remains committed to making sure ISIS never comes back to power. ISIS is never allowed to rain down terror on the population as it did before it was crushed during President Donald Trump's first term. Of course, Baghdadi got killed in 2019 by a Delta Force commando raid backed up by Army Rangers. Well, it appears Delta Force is still putting in work. I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on the screen for you here. Again, the details of this remain fairly limited, but I am going to throw this up on the screen here for you. I'm going to read it. This comes from Osnet Defender. This is a great Twitter account for anyone who's interested in military affairs, foreign affairs, what's happening around the globe. Let's go ahead and read this right now. It says, U.S. and coalition forces carried out a major operation earlier this morning. This was Sunday, so I guess Sunday local time, against an unknown target to the north of Deir ez-Zor in northeastern Syria, involving multiple helicopters as well as ground elements, with at least one individual believed to have been captured, possibly linked to ISIS. Why is this important? This I'm going to highlight right here. U.S. and coalition forces carried out a major operation. For those of you who don't know, when we refer to U.S. forces in Syria, even if they don't state it, I can tell you for a fact they are referring to Delta Force. Syria is Delta Force's playground. It's been Delta Force's area of operation and responsibility since ISIS, and they went in the first time during the Syrian civil war to deal with them. So that is what that means. That is who they are referring to. And again, even if they're not saying it, that is who they are referring to. Now, we do have a few more details. I'm going to throw this up on the screen that actually believes they know the person that was captured. Let's go ahead and put this up. So this comes from the North Press Agency. It says a senior leader of the Islamic State was captured on Saturday. So this is saying Saturday night during a joint security operation carried out by the Syrian Democratic Forces, the SDF, and the U.S.-led global coalition in the northern countryside of Deir ez-Zor, eastern Syria. According to a military source affiliated with the SDF in Deir ez-Zor, the operation targeted a residence in the town of Abu al-Nitel, north of Deir ez-Zor. The raid was supported by aerial surveillance, attack helicopters, drones, and armored vehicles. Coalition forces first deployed warning flares and stun grenades before storming the building. The operation led to the arrest of Hassan Muhsin al-Awi, known by the alias Abu Hassan al-Bakar, Bakar Y, a former ISIS commander who had reemerged as an active figure within the group. The source added that the raiding forces searched the house and surrounding areas, uncovering weapons and ammunition at the site. So we'll get that off the screen now. So that's what's known about this raid. Whenever you hear anything in Syria talking about U.S. forces, it is always Delta Force, the unit usually supported by the Army Rangers, but there have been Green Berets and Special Forces units that have also been active in Syria, but they are in kind of, I don't want to say support because it sounds downgrading, but that's not what it is. But they are there to help the mission with Delta Force taking point. If you're going to be raiding compounds, if you're going to be getting into shootouts, CQB operations, direct action hits, high value target takedowns, as we all know, Delta takes the way. Of course, the United States government doesn't really admit Delta Force exists. They don't really put out press releases about them. I don't even believe when they got Baghdadi that Trump even said in his speech that it was Delta who got him. But this really goes to show a couple things. Number one, it goes to show that Syria remains incredibly unstable, that an ISIS leader could just be hanging out in a town that the U.S. then has to go in and capture. Syria remains an absolute powder keg. You light one match, throw a little bit of gasoline on it, and I promise you, all hell will break loose, which is what we are seeing happen right now. Point two, it goes to show that Delta Force is still in Syria, still in the region, still putting in work, still targeting high-value targets, and that is what they do. They are the world's premier counterterrorism hostage rescue mission. When there is a target at the top of the kill list, kill capture list, or capture kill, depending on what the order is, they're the ones who are going to get the call if they are in the area. That is just a fact. That's the way the world works. I don't know if people disagree or agree with that, but I'm telling you, that is the way the world works. And now they have pulled off what appears to be another daring mission that involved helicopters, armored vehicles, stun grenades, flares, ton of different stuff. The Delta guys, they want to go to work. They want to hunt. They want to find targets. And they are still finding targets in Syria, even as the U.S. starts to draw down forces. Hopefully, for the sake of the Syrian people, the new government is able to provide some level of stability. I'm reserving judgment, you might say. I'm reserving judgment about how this is all going to go. I don't know how it's going to go, but the fact we're still doing these hits, and when I say we, I don't mean me, I mean the guys actually do it in the United States military, the United States government. The fact this is still going on is a sign that there are serious threats still being countered. Obviously, there was a massive attack in Syria against the Christian population not that long ago, carried out by these elements, these scumbag elements. So that's where we're at. That's what we know about this Delta Force raid. I'm sure more details will be coming out in the coming days. We shall see what it is all about, what else we can learn, what else we know. But for now, that's what we've got. But I want to know what you guys think. Please respond in the comments below what you guys think. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Again, totally free. Hit the bell. All notifications checked on. And then as you can see, bottom of the screen, Instagram right there, David _Hookstead, XD Hookstead.